And we are live. Hello, everyone. We are one day late, but we are back in the broadcast again. A few stories for you this week, starting with the DJI Power review. Also, another new product that we didn't get to cover from DJI is the Dock 2. And we have a major firmware update on the enterprise lineup and also a potential competitor on the Enzo Robotics from Texas, which we're still trying to figure out just what kind of drone they've got. So how about we start with the DJI Power review? And Kirk, you actually have been testing one, right?
Yeah, I was shocked. Apparently, like not a lot of people got review units of this. So DJI came out with a brand new product line, like entirely the DJI Power line. So they come with a 500, which is a 512 watt hour battery, and the 1000, which is a 1024 watt hour battery. So I got the 1000. So I would show you it, but it's literally like 10 15 pounds. Like it'll take up my entire space. So I can't really show you it, but I had it for like a few weeks. I took it to a few places, did a few things with it. It's a solid battery backup, like a solid battery thing. It makes sense, I feel like, for DJ going to the space. So it has two full-size outlets, 4 USBs, 2 type C's fast charging, 2 regular type A's. You can throw, they come up with solar panels. So I don't get the solar panels, but you can get solar panels on there as well to the recharge, or you can just plug it into the wall of your car on the recharge. So the idea of it is you kind of bring it out with all your other stuff, and when you need to charge up your batteries, you just plug it into this versus trying to find an outlet somewhere else. I know I've had a lot of problems out there, like downtown Milwaukee area, trying to find places will chop off my Mavic 3 batteries, which can take a bit to charge if you don't have like the full power of an outlet, especially if you're at a coffee shop where you might think you're getting a full outlet, but it's actually one outlet split into like 6 outlets. So you're not getting a whole lot of juice. It might take you a couple hours. So this is like a full size, like you'd expect all the power you get. So like, like a 30-minute charge or something like that to all your Mavic 3 batteries. So I don't know how this stacks up competitively against the other products on the market, because this is a pretty
New,
established. It's a pretty established market already. You have Battery, you have
DJI
Blue
entering
Yeti
as a new player.
Yeah, I think what DJI is trying to do is they're trying to take advantage of their existing a user base and be like, hey, well, if you need a battery for your drones while you're out there, just use our stuff. Like, here's a DJI one. Everyone who wants to have everything DJI, here's a DJI battery pack. Not like it's bad. Like, it charges up within like an hour. Like, as long as you're not charging from 0 to 100, you're gonna have a fully charged battery within an hour. Even the 1000 one, like it took me less than an hour to charge it up every time, except for when I had to do it from 0 to 100. So then it took it about 70-ish minutes, just over an hour. So not that long. The like charges, like I maxed out like every outlet on it. Like the batteries last a while. We actually powered a air compressor off of it for like at least an hour. Like not a big air compressor, but like it only went down like 20% on the battery. Like I went with another YouTuber to a whiskey fest. I'm a big whiskey guy, and we were doing an infinity barrel, and we were pumping whiskey out of a barrel, and we needed a pump, and we had literally like no other power options. So like I just said like, oh, like I'll have this battery, we could test it. I wouldn't rely on it because like it's a new product, so we might want to have an extension cord. But when we got there, we got set up, we were way too far for an extension cord to fit to an outlet. So I'm like, well, let's see how long it lasts. And I ended that day us charging like all, like it was a YouTuber, so he had all his cameras that he was recording and mics he was charging off of it. I was charging my laptop off of it and my cameras off of it. I even topped off I think my Mavic 3 off of it, and then we used the air compressor, and it was like a 9-hour day, and it still had like 40% battery left. So like it's a solid little battery pack. But yeah,
well, against look at the wattage, it's got quite a bit of power.
It is. It has good power. I don't know what the wattage is if you compare the Jackery or Blue Yeti. I didn't look at the wattage. I think they're about the same. But the thing you get with those, I think you get like everything. It seems like I compared it to the Blue Yeti 1000 watt hour one and the Jackery 1000 watt hour one.
This is the one we have, which is 20. Yeah. So this is 2200 watt, which is similar to DJI's, right?
That's double. That's double the size.
Wait, this is
Yeah, it's 1,000 watt hours.
this is
So I think it's the
wow.
I had it at the end of the end of the article, like which ones I compared it to, and they all kind of seem to be like plus one or minus like outlets. Like I think like Blue Yeti had like one extra AC outlet and one less USB-C outlet, and then you had like Battery with like the same number of outlets, but like plus a car outlet on it. Like they're all like kind of like similar, but like plus or minus some sort of outlet stuff. So, but then they also have bigger accessories like Blue Yeti and Jackery and whatnot. All have like battery packs you can just like plunk on top of it to get more juice out of instead of having to buy a whole new one. But for I think what DJI is trying to do this for, like I don't know if DJI is trying to compete against Jackery and Blue Yeti. I feel like as a business you should be, but they don't necessarily need to. I think they're really just going for the DJI drone pilot. Be like, hey, here's your battery. Like, buy your Mavic 3, and then buy the DJI Power, and then you have, power wherever you go. Versus having to rely on your car or your.
I wonder if this is like the core of this battery. I wonder if this is in the Dock too, because Dock 2 acts as a fast charger, right?
Makes sense. I wonder. I'm sure there's some crossover. I'm sure someone. I bet someone did look at like the Dock and were like, why don't we just take the batteries out of this and just make its own power station? Like, I wonder if that's kind of what it was, because the technology seems to be there already. Just had to repackage it up in a new system. So
I mean, we've been using the Blue Yeti one. We've been using the larger one for maybe close to I think coming up to 3 years now. And there's nothing wrong with the product. If you run any enterprise level DJI drones, and if you have the need to go, like if you're into construction, survey, a lot of times you're going to properties where there's no power, there's no setup whatsoever, right? And you don't have enough power from your car on all the enterprise drones. Plus, we need to run. So I remember there was one day, it was in the winter, -10, -15. We were running this for the whole day, charging 6 Matrix 210 batteries, 2 laptops, phones, a couple of Mavic 3Es, and for the whole day, we still had about 40% left at the end of the day.
I could totally see me using this thing, if I ever go out and fly my Inspire 3, again, which DJI, hey, by the way, I still have it. You told me, asked me if I was done with it to return it, and you haven't sent me return info. Like, I haven't used it since then. I might use it again, but anyways, I could totally use it because those batteries, I have 6 batteries with it and use 2 at once, and they don't last as long as you might think.
One thing I do like from the build here is it's a little shorter, longer, right? So the shape is a little different from Blue Yeti. I did find it was a little awkward to carry Blue Yeti because the one we have,
they're all like cubes.
Yeah, they're cubes, and especially the large one, it was fairly heavy.
Yeah,
and
once you get into
it was a little awkward to carry. I can see the flat, like more rectangle shape is easier to carry.
They don't show it in any of the photos, other than they have like one press photo for it in their press release, like info. But it comes actually with like a nice, like, not leather, but like kind of like the same material that all their other carrying cases that for drones come in, but one just for the power. It's actually pretty solid. So it has like, there's a video of it coming out of the carrying case at the end, but it has like you can I kept it in the case the entire time. One, because I was at a large public event. I didn't want people seeing it because it was still like 2 weeks before it was released.
Right.
So I actually it's just a black like kind of suede bag, and I just took black gaff tape and just put over all the DJI branding so no one saw it was a DJI branded item. So you can like there's a zipper in the front, which you can access all of the IO in there, even the charge it or the plug into the outlets. And then there's 2 zippers on the side for the vents to open up.
Protective storage bag.
Yeah, protective storage bag. Yeah, that
is nice.
$100. Dang.
Yeah,
it is very.
That is one thing missing from my Blue Yeti portable power. Is a bag would be nice because again, places we go, it's in the middle of nowhere.
it makes it easier to carry because you can just like carry it like a duffel bag versus having to have two hands on it
Yeah,
on the
and it's
handles.
just nice to have that protection because a lot of times
Yeah.
we have to put it on dirt. We have to put it on places where it's not.
And I had it on dirt. Like I took it to the Eclipse, like, and it was on dirt and gravel and whatnot. Like I'm not. The build quality is great. Like I don't imagine it would get damaged by being on anything but a nice pavement. But like it's nice to have it. And also the only thing that's I would put on it is like if you're charging it and you're like charging it out, if you're charging it like through your car or through, I don't know, I don't think solar panels are going to pump enough power into it to heat it up, but maybe the car will. And you're out like on a hot day, I would take it out of the bag because there is those two zippers for the vents, but they're not as unrestricted if it being out of the bag. So I didn't notice any issue with it because I didn't charge it outside. I only charged it in my house or in my hotel room. And so I noticed it got warm. I'm like, oh, it's a little warmer than I would like it to be. Like in a bag, like that. I don't know what the flammability of it is or how hot it gets if it melts anything. So like I would take it out of the bag if you're charging it outside in a hot day. If it's in your hotel room, your house, I wouldn't really concern about it. It's gonna get warm, but like it's not gonna get
and just
too
pricing
warm.
wise. So watt hour?
It matches up. Actually, I think it's a little bit cheaper because I think
it's a little bit cheaper. See, Blue Yeti is actually on sale right now.
Yeah, well, everything. So every battery pack's gonna be on sale like right now because it's Earth Day. So, those are all gonna be on sale. Like Jackery and Blue Yeti are both on sale. I'm assuming Anchor and what's the other one? There's a third brand I can't think of. They're probably all on sale. But then DJI then released their product on Earth Day as well, or at least leading up to Earth Day or around the same time their sales went live. So, and they're is this the 1,000 watt hour? Or is the 1,500 watt hour? What's the one that
this is 1150. So close.
Yeah. Let me pop up the one that I reviewed it against. AC 180. I think that's 1,000. Yeah, it's 1,000 on the dot. So, but you can get 350 off right now because of the sale. So they're priced about the same as the two.
In line with the Jackery.
Yeah. It was an interesting review because every review I've done of DJI product is always like, well, they're like again crushing it.
A camera, a drone. This is probably the first one that's not a camera related product.
This is first time it was first time I reviewed a DJI product. I'm like, I mean, it's good. I don't know if I'm not gonna tell you to buy it over the competitors, but like, if you want it, like if you want a DJI product, with all your stuff, yeah, it's good. Like you're not gonna be disappointed by it. But yeah, I don't know. I would have to literally get the other ones.
Let me put it this way.
This is not for our site. This is more for electric.
Yeah, I mean, let me put it this way. If I didn't have my Blue Yeti, or if my Blue Yeti breaks down, I'm looking for a replacement, and I'm already on the DJI ecosystem, then I don't mind buying a DJI one. Right? But if I didn't know DJI as a product, am I comfortable buying a DJI remote battery at this point? I don't know.
I think it'd be interesting to see how they mature the product line because I think Blue Yeti and Jackery still have it up because you can just buy a battery. It's like with Blue Yeti, you can just buy a battery pack and just sit next to it, plug it into each other, and now you have like almost tripling your battery power because one of them is just a battery and one of them has all the outlets. I think also the solar panel is a little bit more well tested out in the world, and also have I don't know the brand. They're not DJI branded solar panels. They're from a different company, so maybe that's fine. But I know the Blue Yeti and Jackery ones like are very well tested out in the world, and they work very well. So I don't. It's one of those, like I don't know if I would really suggest this over anyone else. But if you buy it, it's going to be a good product. I just don't know how. I'll have to send this off to our people at Electric who have more of these things and see or 95 Toys
and then test it over time too, right?
Yeah, we'll see how long I have it. I mean, I've had no issues with it. I'm looking forward to it. You know, I love having it. I'm gonna use more of it. So
moving on to the next one, Dock 2. We didn't really talk much about Dock 2 since it was released. I personally saw it when I was in China last month. What I really liked is I was able to carry it versus the original Dock 1, right? So the small form factor makes a big difference. It has its designated drone, which is also interesting, right? Because the previous Dock 1 was compatible with several different drones with Matrix 30, 30T, you know. But this one has its own just Matrix 3D or 3DT, which is slightly, just slightly larger than the Mavic 3 Enterprise lineup. But it's designated to pair up with just Dock 2. And I believe it's waterproof. It's waterproof, as we can see from the video here.
I remember when we thought this drone was going to be the Air 3. So remember when those leaks came out? Everyone was like, "It's the Air 3."
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Everyone
I don't think this is the Air 3.
This is a little bigger than the Mavic 3E.
I just remember last year that the leaks of this drone were coming out, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's the Air 3 drone." I'm like, but why would they have non-foldable arms on an Air 3? Anyways, it makes more sense for this now. For the
I'm waiting for my demo unit. I'm actually getting unit set up on our drone field. I believe the ETA is mid of May. So once I have it, we'll be able to fully test it. I've been using Flight Hub 2 for a while, and if you're not familiar with Flight Hub 2, that is your DJI fleet management, remote fleet management, right? So I can be anywhere with internet and a computer, and I can manage this Dock 2 station. Technically speaking, I can manage any of my DJI Enterprise drones from anywhere with internet and remote. I can see what it's doing, almost like your live security feed from the drone. I can see what it's doing. I can see system information. I can set it up. So there are tons of things you can do with Flight Hub 2, which we already use with the Enterprise lineup. So it'll be nice to fully test it with the Dock 2. You know, can I be home? Can I program a mission and have it, let's say, patrol a site? Those are the questions we'll find out.
Can I just harass my employees for fun on my day off?
Well, that was, you know, I was on the construction site last week, and we're actually joking about it because we were doing a survey mission, and there were live, you know, cranes and machinery and people working there because we have the speaker on the drone, right? So you could actually, you know, talk to your employees, or if you see anyone who's not working, right, give them a push.
Just, I can just see on your day off, be like, I wonder what everyone's doing, and just follow them around on the drone.
On that note, I also tested the M3E's new firmware update that actually I believe it was released close to a week ago. The one feature, I'm not going to go into all the details because majority of this is the mission planning update. They're good for user experience improvement, but one thing I really like is the Mavic 3E's Vision Assist. This is the one that wasn't on Mavic 3 lineup before. But if you ever use the Matrix 30, what you see is from the video. Let's say if you're looking at the camera view right here, at the bottom, you have a picture-in-picture where you have the fixed FPV camera, right? So you can, it doesn't matter where the main camera is. It may be tilting, right? It may not be looking at a navigation view, but you can always see from the FPV camera what's in front of you. The Vision Assist on the M3E is enabling the obstacle avoidance as a picture-in-picture. I actually really like that. It gives you a lot more information, right?
Yeah, because the Inspire 3 also has that same thing because they have both the FPV camera and then you have the Zenmuse camera.
Yeah.
And then they added this similar thing to this on like the consumer products where you can look at you look through your obstacle avoidance cameras. And I don't know if it works the same way as this, but I think it works similar. And it's just nice to have. Like, it's nice to be flying around like with your camera down, you know, looking at your subject, and then I'll be able to see in your left corner like what's in front of you. Because a lot of times I think that's where crashes happen, where you're doing something
and then you're not paying attention.
Because like it's not, I don't think it's anyone's fault. It's just like you literally don't have a camera perspective from that point of view. So like you don't know if you're going to.
You're not flying. You're not aware of the surroundings of your flight.
Well, you can even be. I mean, you can be looking at your drone, but like if it's going in like a certain direction where you're not, like you're looking at it, but you don't have that point of view from the front of the drone, like you could think there's, you know, the tree there, but you don't know where the branches start because you might be like you know, a football field away, so you can't see all the branches of that tree. So I think it's just someone's fault, but like, yeah, like this is like kind of adds in like less now it is your fault if you crash into it. So
right. Yeah. Along that note, Mavic 3E lineup. I saw this news about Enzo being a Texas-based, like a U.S. drone company. When I looked at the product, I was thinking, wait, is that Mavic 3 Enterprise?
Yeah,
Like,
I'm a bit confused on
why is this a US-based company? And there's something about saying that this is based on the DJI Mavic 3 Enterprise platform. I was very confused by just exactly how much of this product is a new product, like it's a non-DJI versus, this is the official website.
Yeah, so
And it just looks like a Mavic 3 Enterprise to me. So what is the difference?
So apparently, apparently just further down, I was just looking through around also just all one part. Yeah, so they have a technology transfer deal with DJI, which allows them to use the hardware.
But they're using their
they're
own
doing
app.
the
They're
software.
using their own flight app.
Yeah, so it's their own software, but it's DJI's hardware. I'm wondering how if this gets around any so it says
Because this was saying if you're looking for affordable DJI alternative of a potential federal ban, I don't know how this is gonna get through if a federal ban comes.
I can see. So yeah, it'll be interesting how this works on a federal ban, because this is no different than, well, it's a little bit different, but this kind of reminds me more of like how Apple, I mean, for an iPhone. So iPhones are made in China. Every iPhone, or almost every iPhone is made in China. But the software is a US based software. Like it's Apple out of California software, not Apple out of China software.
But wait a sec. The development of the hardware, like the design, the development, that's everything is mostly
China. Mostly also based in China.
It's manufactured in China, but the core of the company vision, everything is still made in the States.
But when you listen to the Congress's complaints about it, their complaints about the data and the data processing, which is all software. So
how much of their software can control the I don't know.
But then you also have you do have the firmware stuff, which I'm sure is probably using similar firmware to what any other enterprise DJI would be using. So then,
right.
I'm not.
Now, my other question is how much of a guarantee they will have that their software will work, regardless of what DJI does to their hardware. Because in the past, there had been several times when there were major firmware updates on the DJI equipment. Anyone who was using certain third-party softwares got affected. Right?
Yeah. Also, we'll see. I guess you'll see how much DJI charges for a premium on just you using their ecosystem.
We don't know.
Which I mean, so you'd have to compare the pricing of this drone versus a regular Mavic 3 Enterprise. If it's supposed to be cheaper, then that means DJI is charging their stuff as a premium. But also, then is it charging a premium because it's better? Probably.
So 7,600 US. We can probably find out now. So if I go to DJI store and look at let's see, enterprise drones M3T. This is M3 with M3T.
M3 with the worry-free combo.
So this is your base. Wait, worry-free. Those are your DJI Care options, pretty much.
Is that US though? So
US 5,000.
Yours is cheaper.
Versus this one is 7,600. So it is much more expensive.
It is. I wonder how much that includes in software though.
We don't know.
We don't know.
That's a question.
Let me see. Enterprise, because you're cheaper in the States. Sorry, in Canada than I am in the States.
All right.
Yeah.
What's your price?
Mavic 3. Oh no, I want the T. Enterprise Mavic 3T. So worry free. Well, I have the worry free plus combo. Is that what you're doing? Worry free basic combo.
Basic. We're looking at basic.
Basic is I'm like a $400 premium to it, but the combo actually lines up. The plus combo lines up with their prices, so you might be getting
the plus.
You might be getting the plus.
Right. I also wonder because the plus is the DJI warranty. So if something happens, they will replace your drone. So if you're using a third-party control app, how much warranty?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where. Maybe they're getting the warranty on the drone. I don't know.
Yeah.
So then they can transfer the warranty to you, and then you just send it to them. They send the DJI. I don't know exactly. when we're talking about US DJ competitors of DJI, I don't think this is what we're talking about.
I agree. I think this is just a workaround, and whether or not it will work, I remain skeptical. I guess we shall see.
Yeah, I'm a little skeptical on this surviving a ban, but I could see it surviving a ban more likely than Altel surviving a ban. So,
first of all, let's see when the ban comes out.
Yeah, we'll see if that actually gets through Senate, which I haven't followed. I haven't followed the most recent things, but I've heard it does. It's not likely, but we'll see.
So just to recap this week, we talked about the DJI Power, the first DJI Power Station. We took a look at the Dock 2, and we also looked at the M3 Enterprise update. Related to that was, this Enzo, which seems to be a workaround based on the DJI hardware. And we'll see, how it turns out. Those are all the news we've got for you this week. We'll see you back here next Friday.
Have a good one.